Blower door tests show that the average modern home has a cumulative leak equivalent to leaving a 20 by 20-inch window wide open. That is not an exaggeration. Add up every gap around your outlets, baseboards and windows, and that's the hole you're heating. When it's 5 below zero, cold air is pouring through that hole 24/7. Your furnace isn't fighting the walls, it's fighting an invisible open window. The log cabins didn't have this issue. The logs were joined using a scribe fit technique. Each log was custom cut.
Alright, so we are playing with the updated, should run of water, updated version that is using the heat towers from lava. So we consume lava to create heat, and then we do the calcite sulfur into steam, into water to heat it. So we're going to set up our Fulgora base.
The clay dries hard, creating an airtight seal, while the air acts like rebar to prevent cracking. It's a breathable system. Vapor can escape, but drafts cannot enter. When researchers study 600-year-old cabins today, many meet or exceed modern passive house airtight.
Alright, so we'll get this dialed in.
A hut built with an axe and moss is tighter than a suburban home built with high-tech composites. The third element is the heating strategy. This is where it gets interesting. We tend to think of old cabins having open fireplaces. Open fireplaces are thermal disasters. They suck massive amounts of warm indoor air and blast it up the chimney.
Alright, so that will start going.
Actually make a house colder by creating negative pressure. Instead, the Scandinavians used masonry heaters known as kakala or soapstone stoves. These are massive units built of stone or brick weighing several tons. You burn a hot, fast fire once or twice a day. The combustion is complete and clean. But instead of the exhaust shooting straight out, it winds through a labyrinth of channels inside the stone mass. The gas transfers its heat to the stone before it ever reaches the chimney. By the time the smoke exits, it's barely warm. All that energy is trapped in the stone. This stone mass then
So that's interesting, but how do you clean something like that, though?
The surface stays at around 140 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit.
It seems like that would get dirty. Okay, so how do we want to set this up? So we got a huge coal deposit right here. I'm thinking, so every one I've ever built is horizontal, but because of the shape, let's go do some exploring real quick. Because of the shape of this thing, I think that we have to go down. So I think this is, oops. I think there's probably lava over here. Yep. I'm getting very lava-y. Okay, there's a patch. It's a pretty crappy one. There's a lot of calcite.
And tested it at -30 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
A single 2-hour fire using about 45 pounds of wood kept the interior above 59 degrees
Worm.
for 16 hours. The fuel consumption was about 1/10 of what a modern home with an oil furnace would burn in the same period. And that's without modern insulation. Just thermal mass, air tightness, and radiant heat.
I wonder how hard it'd be to spawn a worm.
Design played a huge role too.
Wonder if you could make a mod that like
modern open floor plans are a nightmare for efficiency.
that's probably the first worm I'm gonna kill. Wonder if you could make a mod that would allow the worms to respawn, retake territory. Be interesting.
Rooms were small and compartmented by doors.
Being like having to deal with a map where worms like came back, that'd be crazy. Okay, here's a whole bunch of space. Looks like a better area. Okay, so that's our opener right there. 4.3 million. Yeah, this one's a real piece of shit. God, that sucks though. Man, we don't have a lot of area to build in here. Because I guess I will. I'll stick to going down. So I'll make that coal 1.4 million coal. So I'll make the coal my thing. I'll do liquid metal.
This created
production
an
there.
air
Yeah, we
gap
got basically enough
that acted as
calcite to go
insulation.
indefinitely.
The floors were thick planks, often double layered with sawdust or moss packed in between. This broke the thermal bridge. No heat bled into the earth. Every detail was designed to hoard heat. Why did we stop building this way? 3 reasons: speed, cost, and cheap oil. After World War II, we needed millions of houses fast. Scribing logs and hand-cutting joints took too long. Stick framing with 2
Ooh,
by
man, this is a nice area to build. Look at this. It's clean,
Labor was
open.
expensive, but materials needed to be cheap. Thin walls with batting were cheaper than solid timber. And then the energy boom. In the 50s and 60s, oil and gas were dirt cheap. Who cared if a house was inefficient? You just cranked the
Oh, dude, there's
thermostat.
a nice
We
calcite
stopped
patch.
building for resilience and started
Another one
building
here.
for
Gosh,
low
these are
upfront
like better
cost.
areas than
We
what I'm
built
starting in
houses
to
that
build.
were life support, dependent on a constant drip of electricity and gas. Cut the line and they die. But energy isn't cheap anymore. The grid is becoming unstable. And people are realizing their expensive homes are fragile. In Europe, specifically Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, there is a massive movement back to solid wood construction. Mass timber.
Telling you, dude, everything's cyclical, man. We're gonna be heading back to the old ways. I think that's what's coming.
Traditional log principles with modern tech. Thick cross
I
laminated
think that's what's
timber,
coming.
CLT, walls, masonry heaters, and smart compact layouts.
Oh, come on.
They are seeing massive drops in energy use.
Oh, I cannot find medium demolisher. It's a little scary.
And if the power
Don't
goes
piss him off too much.
it stays livable
What's
for
that?
days.
10 million. So that's a good
Science
one, but
backs
it's a long
this
ways
up.
away.
A 2018
Ooh, there we go.
study by the University of Innsbruck
Bam. This is the
found
area
solid
right
wood
here.
houses versus conventional builds over 5 years.
Oh yeah, I can grab both
Wood
these.
homes use 40%
Oh yeah,
less heat
sweet.
and energy in winter.
Look at this. So
In
there's
summer, they didn't even need
20 million
AC
right
as
here.
the thermal
It's gonna be a little
mass
tricky
buffered the
going
heat.
around that lava, but
Residents
that's the
reported
way.
fewer
So
drafts
that's what we'll go
and a
grab. We'll go
healthier
grab
environment.
these
Wood
when it's
naturally
time,
regulates
and then if I ever need to, I'll grab
absorbing
this. And
moisture when
so,
it's damp and
yep, that just
releasing
like
it when
doubles
it's dry.
down how we're gonna
No
build
mold,
this base.
no dry air, no noisy humidifiers.
Calcite.
And there
Okay,
is one more thing we
57.
rarely
That
talk
god
about.
damn, that's huge.
Durability.
Okay, cool.
A modern house
Alright.
starts dying the day it's finished.
So that's it. So
Vapor barriers rip.
okay, so we'll
Fire
kill this guy,
settles.
but then where I'm standing,
Earth
this is
rot
gonna
and
become
water
the
gets
big
behind
one
the
once we're
sun.
ready.
After 30 years,
Let's
we
get
can
to it.
make
Okay,
it
so
on
we're
the
gonna
edges.
we're gonna build
Scandinavian
down. I've never done a
for
down
600 years.
main
As
bus
the
here.
wood settles in the first few years, the joints actually get tighter. A 50-year-old log home is often more efficient than a brand new one. It's an asset that appreciates in function, whereas modern builds depreciate immediately. If
Man,
you are
these
looking
guys
to
are
build or renovate a home today
needing some more
that is
stuff.
resilient, efficient, and built to last, steal these principles.
Hmm.
You don't have to live in a medieval hut, but you can use thermal mass. Look into mass timber or solid log construction. If you can't do solid wood walls,
Okay.
integrate
Well,
stone
let's get to
mass
work here.
inside. A masonry heater or a heavy stone fireplace surround can act
Get
as
to
your
work.
thermal.
I'm gonna lose a
Focus
few of
on
these
door
guys, but
tightness.
start
Pay
clearing the
for a
area.
professional blower door test and seal every leak. That is worth more than adding another layer of insulation. Designed for compactness. Skip the cathedral ceilings
Okay.
if you care about
Boom.
efficiency. Lower ceilings and closable rooms keep the heat where you are. Use thermal zoning.
Okay.
Heat the living
That's
space.
good.
Let the bedrooms stay cool and think long term. A house that costs $50,000 more to build but saves you $100,000 in utilities and maintenance over 30 years is the smarter buy. Modern codes obsess over R value and upfront cost. They completely ignore resilience and life cycle value. The Scandinavian farmer in his 14th century cabin wasn't primitive. He was a master of applied physics. He knew that heat needs mass. He knew air leakage is the enemy, not the cold itself.
Okay.
He knew radiant heat beats forced air. And he knew that working with nature beats fighting it with a furnace. We traded that wisdom for speed and cheap fossil fuels.
Okay.
Now
And we'll go
energy
one
is
more down
expensive
here.
and the weather is getting wilder. We are paying the tab. If you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe.
Okay.
We are digging up the buried
Cool,
knowledge
man.
that the modern construction
All right, so
industry
there we go.
would rather you
Get
forget.
the initial base
The
set up.
medieval log cabin wasn't an accident. It was the result of centuries of trial and error.
Okay, so let these guys start working. Let's go ahead and get our bot network going.
What remained was a system so robust it got families through minus 30-degree winters with zero electricity and zero gas. These people worked 12 hours a day, built nations, and raised
Alrighty. Let's do a real simple one. We'll end up moving this when we start getting going, but that'll at least get us started.
The secret wasn't lost. It was just buried under marketing and short-term thinking.
Cool.
Every time you build with thermal maps,
Okay, so we got everything we need. Let's go and start dropping the rest of the base down.
wisdom that kept
Get our
people
fuel.
when the world was brutal. Wisdom that still works. Subscribe and let's keep digging.
Cool.
All right, it gives me great pleasure to bring this man up here.
Yikes. Joe List, you're awesome.
Here, ladies
That's
and
too
gentlemen.
loud. Too loud, Joe. Let's keep going for some of these. Okay.
Imagine this. You buy expensive wood for your deck. 3 years later, it's grey, rotten, and completely ruined.
Okay,
Why
now
does it
we're
not
online.
last 5 years,
Power up.
while medieval half-timbered houses have been standing for centuries? The
Okay,
answer
so
lies in
we're gonna
what
do
our
our,
ancestors.
let's see, so we'll do
Linseed
2
not
rows
just any
here
linseed,
of oil
linseed
production,
applied
or
directly
metal
to
production.
traditional craftsmanship.
It's gonna be a little tricky
Today,
with
I'll show you how to protect your
those
wood for
cliffs, but we'll
decades
get those out of here
without
soon
chemicals
enough.
and little
Let's go
money.
and get started. We also need to start
Wood was a
building our
generational
first
project.
foundries.
Grandfather built the fence, father repaired it, grandson
Okay.
inherited it.
Let's get started on
Today,
that.
after 3 years, you buy a new one. It's not because everything was better in the past.
Since we're
It's
cool,
because
we
we've
can
lost
just
the
start
knowledge.
with a mall
Modern
right
wood
off.
comes from fast-growing plantations. These trees grow as tall in 20 years as they used to in 100. The problem? Fast growth means a loose structure. The wood is porous like a sponge. Water
Alright, so
penetrates.
bring this up here, and then we can start
fungi
building our
settle,
mall.
and the wood rots from the inside out. The industry sells us the solution. Pressure impregnation. The wood is pumped full of chemicals, copper, chromium, arsenic, toxic substances that are supposed to keep fungi and insects away. This works for a
Cool.
while, but these chemicals wash out. They end up in your garden, in the soil, in the groundwater. And best of all, the new environmentally friendly impregnations are even worse.
Okay,
They
so let's do
contain so
this.
much copper that normal screws are corroded away. You need stainless steel fasteners, which cost extra. Even so,
See,
the
I
wood
actually
doesn't
don't want
last
it
very
right there,
long.
so let's
It's
just
a vicious
we'll
circle.
use an extra
You
one.
buy expensive treated wood. After a few years, it's ruined. You dispose of it as hazardous waste because of the chemicals.
Okay, cool.
Then you buy new, expensive treated wood again. The industry profits, you pay, and the environment suffers.
Oh, dude, what is up with my
Medieval
power
craftsmen
source? Am I
did
not?
have this
Yeah, I
problem.
still got fuel,
They
but
had no chemicals, no
I'm
pressure
using the bots too
impregnation,
much.
no preservatives. Nevertheless,
Okay,
their
sweet.
wooden buildings are still standing
Let's get
today.
our
How did they do it?
set up.
The answer is simple. They understood how wood really works. They knew that wood does not need to be sealed like a plastic bottle. Wood needs to be able to breathe. At the same time, it needs protection from moisture and pests. Their solution was ingenious. Linseed oil, extracted from flax seeds, the same plant from which linen is made. Linseed
Okay,
oil
so let's get our
penetrates
foundry
deep into
going.
the wood. It does not
Oh.
clog pores, but hardens its
God, we need lubricant to make this work. Man, this is where I almost want to go fly and get some lubricant.
Vikings soaked their ships in linseed oil. These ships
Just to
crossed the
make life
Atlantic for
easier.
centuries. Medieval farmers treated their tools with linseed oil.
And
Many
refined.
of these
Okay,
tools
we
still
gotta
work
get that
today.
anyway, so let's
The
go and do
secret
it.
never disappeared. It was only forgotten because industry convinced us that only expensive chemicals work.
Okay, so we
The
need
best
refined.
solution is the simplest. Linseed oil, when used correctly, protects wood better than any modern treatment. Not
Okay,
all
cool.
linseed
So that'll
oil
at
is
least
the
get it
same.
over there. Let's see
That
what
is
we
the
can get
first
done
point
for
that
getting
medieval
that
masters
lubricant.
understood. There is raw linseed oil and boiled linseed oil. The difference determines success or failure. Raw linseed oil dries extremely slowly. We are talking about months.
Dude, this
sometimes
stuff is
years.
crazy. We've
During
lost
this
so much
time, it
knowledge
becomes
about
sticky
how the
and
world
attracts dust and
is
dirt.
supposed to work.
Worse still, it can become rancid
Bizarre.
before it hardens. For our ancestors, raw linseed
Okay,
oil
cool.
was
So we
only the
got
raw material,
all this going up
not the
here.
finished solution. Cooked linseed oil is the secret. But be careful. Today, every hardware store sells cooked linseed oil that has never been cooked. Manufacturers mix raw linseed oil.
Alright, so we got all this sweet stuff right here, and I think this is steel.
But it is not the same as
It literally
cooked
comes
linseed
out right
oil.
there.
Medieval craftsmen really did
Easy.
cook their linseed oil. They heated it for hours at a low temperature. This changes the molecular structure. The oil becomes thicker, stickier, and dries much faster. More importantly, it polymerizes better. This means that the oil molecules combine to form long chains and create a strong, flexible, protective layer. In the Nordic countries, linseed oil was essential for
Okay, so
survival.
we'll bottle up
Vikings built their longboats from oak
delicious
planks. These
lubricant.
ships had to survive at sea for months, in storms and salt water. Their solution, they soaked each plank with boiled linseed oil. The oil penetrated deep into the wood fibers and made them water repellent. At the same
Cool.
time, the wood remained flexible enough to adapt to the waves. Archaeologists have
No, we'll say
excavated
that we
Viking
only want
ships
barrel
and
that
buried
many.
in the ground for over 1,000 years.
Cool.
The wood is still so well preserved that it was possible to detect the original linseed oil treatment.
Alright, is the
1,000 years underground.
P. Diddy.
The wood is
Yep.
still
What's up,
protected.
P. Diddy?
The
So let's get
Vikings
some
weren't the
oil.
only ones. Craftsmen all over Europe developed similar techniques. German carpenters treated their
So
hard
like
timber
400.
houses with
Get a
linseed
bunch of
oil.
the stuff.
These houses are still standing today after 5, 6,
Okay,
700
cool.
years.
Is that getting?
Wooden
Oof,
beams are
that's not
dark,
gonna be enough. So we do
but still in perfect
100
condition.
per. I guess we'll just let
The
it
secret
bundle up
lies in the way
everything
linseed
here.
oil reacts with wood. Other oils,
Yeah, what's up?
olive oil or sunflower
I do,
oil,
yeah.
always remain liquid. They can become rancid or wash out. Linseed oil is different. It is one of the drying oils.
Yes.
It reacts with oxygen from the air and becomes solid. This reaction is called oxidation.
Cool.
The oil molecules combine
Alright,
with
so
oxygen
that
atoms
is
to form
coming.
long
So we've
polymer
got
chains.
base materials in the
The
way.
result
Let's
is
go
no
ahead
longer
and
oil,
get
but a type of
steel
plastic
going
egg,
as well.
natural, flexible plastic that protects the wood from the inside out. The process takes weeks.
Alright, so that should grab everything we need. I think we're done. We can just wait for that to show up.
Is water repellent,
Cool.
vapor permeable. The wood can breathe.
It's been awesome. Yeah, this is my third playthrough of it.
Find no breeding ground.
The reason I'm casting right now is I created a mod
Medieval sources
that
describe exactly how linseed oil was applied.
normally this
Craftsmen heated it
you
slightly
put calcite
to
into
penetrate
sulfur
better,
and it creates
applying
steam and then you just
thin
generate
layers
power.
that allowed each layer to dry completely.
Um,
Sometimes they mixed in
yeah,
beeswax
no,
for extra
yeah,
shine.
Aquila doesn't have stone or copper or
Every carpenter,
you have to
every
dump
boat
everything in from
had
space.
linseed oil treatment. It was as natural as brushing your teeth is today. It was not until the 20th century, with the advent of the chemical industry, that this knowledge fell into oblivion. Today, craftsmen and DIY enthusiasts are rediscovering this ancient knowledge. They are realizing that linseed oil still works. It is cheaper than modern wood preservatives, non-toxic and more durable. Our ancestors were right. Now it's getting practical. The secret of our ancestors was not only the right linseed oil, but also the right application. One mistake and the whole project becomes a disaster. I'll show you the exact method that has worked for centuries. First, you need the right material. Boiled linseed oil, not the stuff from the hardware store.
Yeah, are you trying to figure out your Aquila run right now?
The fact that it is thicker and dries faster. In Sweden, there are still manufacturers who boil it according to old traditions. It costs more, but it's worth it. Alternatively, you can boil raw linseed oil yourself. Not really boil it.
Yeah, so the real bugger,
Just heat it carefully.
So the ore, you can pipe that in from asteroids, you know, like you can collect metallic asteroids, and then and same thing with copper. And so that one's easy. Stone is the real bugger. Stone is the only thing that you have to mine from a planet, launch into space, just so you can go drop it off at Aquilo, which is just such a bummer.
The rags you work with must be dipped in water or burned after use. Never throw them away dry. Medieval sources have already described this. Linseed oil rags can cause fires. Now to the preparation of the wood. This is crucial. New wood must be sanded, at least with 120 grit sandpaper. This opens the pores. Old weathered wood must be cleaned. Grey coating.
Alright, so what's your stuff? Alright, so we gotta get more
golden trick of our ancestors.
tungsten ore. Oh wait, no, nope. No, we need to create our power loop first. Do not get sidetracked.
Medieval craftsmen placed their oil jugs in the sun or next to the fireplace. Step 1. Dilute for deep penetration. Pure linseed oil is too thick for
this, so we can get.
Our ancestors diluted it with turpentine. Today we use balsam turpentine, the real stuff made from pine resin mixing ratio. 1 part turpentine to 3 parts linseed oil. This thin mixture is absorbed by the wood like a sponge.
Cool.
Apply the first coat.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and we'll bring this down. So as far as power generation, I need some space. So this will probably work. I'll be able to build down here. This I want to build more up. I think putting my actual line of stuff up here is going to make more sense.
The wood should be saturated, but the surface must look dry.
Well, yeah.
Layer will become sticky and attract dirt. Step 2.
Okay, so we want to come up here and we'll put our stuff there, and then we do that, and then we'll bring the steam over. Okay, which means, let's see, so where's the water going to be, where's the best place for water to be generated? I think the best place for the water is here, and then I will assume that I'll be able to clear out more space up here, so I'll be able to use this to build. Okay, so let's not touch that one, but let's create a new one.
Wipe off excess oil. Step 3. Apply several thin layers instead of one thick layer.
So we'll
this is the secret to longevity.
so we'll start by doing this.
The next one is applied. In warm, dry weather, this takes 2 to 3 days. In humid weather, it takes a week. Patience pays off. 3 to 4 thin layers provide protection that lasts for decades.
Okay.
A thick layer will never harden properly
That, and then
may flake off.
go ahead and throw that in there. So now we're going to get
Medieval masters
sulfur. Cool.
Okay,
let's go build our track.
Beeswax into the wood. The wax mixes is still soft linseed oil to form a silky, water-repellent surface. Dissolve beeswax in turpentine until a creamy paste forms. Apply with a rag and polish with a dry cloth after an hour.
Okay, sweet.
The result is a warm, matte sheen that looks beautiful and feels good. The drying time is crucial. Linseed oil dries from the outside in. The surface may look dry after a day.
Here, let's do this.
Still soft inside.
We'll just jump.
Wait at least a week before putting any weight on the wood.
Okay, so now we got this over here.
It will take a month for everything to harden completely. The result is worth
Okay, and so we'll, let's see, so steam is going to come down and over here, so we want these things facing down, so we'll do sulfur coming through here. We'll do a double jump.
This treatment lasts.
Okay, so let's build this with 2 in mind. And actually, I think we can get this set up.
That's how our ancestors did it. That's how it still works today.
Okay.
Simple, natural, and durable. Imagine never having to go to the hardware store again, desperately searching for the latest wood preserve.
Like this.
You know the feeling. You stand in front of the shelf with 100 different products, all promising the same thing, all costing a fortune. With linseed oil, that's a thing.
Nice tileable design.
To record linseed oil costs about €20.
Okay, cool.
That is enough for 20 square meters of wood. Modern wood preservatives cost 3 times as much and last only half as long. The math is simple. Linseed oil costs cents, chemicals cost euros.
Okay.
But it's about more than money. It's about the
Whoops.
feeling of self-sufficiency.
Screwed up.
You do it yourself, like your ancestors did. You don't need an industry to tell you what's good for you. You understand how it works. You see how the oil soaks into the wood. You feel how the surface becomes smooth. That's real craftsmanship. And then there's the environment. No toxins in the garden. No disposal as hazardous waste. Linseed oil is a foodstuff. You could drink it if you wanted to. You rinse the leftovers off the brush with soap.
Okay.
But the best thing is
And then
its
we will
durability.
output priority
Once
there.
done
So no matter what
properly, it
happens, we're going to be
lasts for
getting.
decades. Your children will inherit the
Bonk,
wood you
bonk.
treat today. Just like in the old days,
Okay.
when things were built to last for generations. Nature developed the best solution thousands of years ago. The flax plant produces this wonderful oil that protects and nourishes wood. We just have to learn to look again and understand what has always been there. The medieval secret is no secret. It's simple knowledge that was almost lost. Linseed oil, when used correctly, protects your wood better than any modern chemical.
All right. So let's
Try
split
it.
this, and
Your
then
wood will thank
we'll
you.
bring another
Subscribe
one
for
of
more
these up
forgotten
here, and I'll
secrets
shut
of
down
self-sufficiency.
that line. Okay. So come up here. It's like so. Perfect spot.
Imagine living without electricity. No refrigerator, no washing machine, no internet.
Whoops.
Sounds like a nightmare, right? But our ancestors in the Middle Ages had solutions that were sometimes smarter than what we use today.
Okay.
They built cooling systems that worked without energy. They developed heating systems that were more efficient than modern furnaces. And best
Okay.
of
So
all,
the question is,
these
are you the same
technologies
size? You're
lasted
not.
centuries without
So
breaking.
since you were a different size,
After
we
the
have to
fall
bring
of
you
Rome,
down by
many
one,
ingenious
which
inventions were
screws
lost.
us up a little
In the
here.
Middle
But
Ages, new
that's okay.
techniques emerged that were perfectly adapted to
Gosh
local
darn.
conditions.
What a bummer.
Today, I'm
Be
going
nice
to
if
show
things
you
fit
12
better.
of these forgotten technologies.
Okay,
Each
well,
one could
let's just do it.
revolutionize your life as a self-sufficient person. Water has always been life, but how do you get it where you need it without electric pumps?
Okay,
The
so
answer
let's
lies
do
in
this.
water power itself. The water wheel was the engine of the Middle Ages. Imagine a stream flowing peacefully through a village. At its side, a wooden wheel, 3 meters high and made entirely of oak, turns slowly. This wheel not only drives the mill, but
Cool.
also saws, hammers, and even textile machines. A single stream could supply an entire village with energy. The technology behind it is ingeniously simple.
Dude, that's so cool.
Flowing water hits the blades of the wheel and sets it in motion. This rotational movement is transmitted to various tools via gears and shafts. Overshot water wheels, where the water comes from above, achieved efficiencies of over 70%. That's better than some modern turbines, but water wheels could do even more. In the Netherlands, they pumped water out of flooded areas. In mountainous regions, they lifted groundwater to higher elevations, all without a drop of gasoline or a kilowatt hour of electricity.
80.
Then there were the water lifting machines. The Noria,
I forget what these are.
pots or buckets, continuously drew water from rivers and wells. This technology originated in the Orient, but was also used in Europe. The principle, the wheel turns with the flow,
Okay.
containers filled with water at the bottom, empty into channels or basins.
Average
at the
view
top.
duration
Even
917,
cleverer were
dude.
pumping
You know
stations
it.
with Archimedes' screw. A spiral screw in an inclined pipe transports water upwards when it is turned. Windmills drove these screws and thus drained entire areas of land. Without this technology, Holland would still be a swamp today. Medieval water pipes were also impressive. While the Romans relied on stone and lead, medieval engineers experimented with wood and fired clay. Hollowed
Okay,
out
so we're
tree
gonna do-
trunks, mostly oak or elm, served as pipes. These were reinforced with iron
for it.
rings and sealed with pitch or resin. Such wooden pipes lasted for decades and were much cheaper than metal pipes. Clay pipes
So
were even more
1.75.
durable. They were fired in special kilns at high temperatures.
So is
until
that
they
4?
became rock hard. These pipes withstood frost and root pressure.
So 7 of those for every 4.
Plastic
Okay.
pipes. In German cities such as Augsburg,
So there's
and
4.
Nuremberg,
So we want
such
7
pipe
of
systems
these.
supplied thousands of people with fresh drinking water. Why were these systems more reliable than modern pumps? Quite simply, They had no moving parts that could break. A water wheel runs as long as water flows. No electronics to fail, no filters to clog, no motors to overheat. Today, micro hydropower is experiencing a renaissance. Small water wheels with a diameter of only 1 meter can generate enough electricity for a homestead. All you need is a stream with a constant flow and some manual skills. The technology is the same as it was 800 years ago, only the materials have become more modern. A homemade water wheel costs a fraction of a solar system and runs 24 hours a day. No batteries, no inverters, just pure mechanical.
So you just need water.
For self-sufficient people living near streams or small rivers, this is the perfect solution. While water wheels power villages, other technologies provide.
So this will run for a little while. We've got heat and stuff set up.
Imagine a stove that not only heats but
Okay,
also
so this can
stores heat for hours,
do a K a second,
releases
90.
heat.
How much are
Tile
these?
stoves consisted of special clay tiles
10, so one of these can
inserted
do.
into a lattice work of clay and stones. The secret lay in the mass. These stoves often weighed over a ton and stored heat like a giant battery. Once properly heated, they radiated heat for 12 to 24
Okay, so we'll
hours.
just do like this.
You only had to add wood twice a day, and the whole room stayed cozy and warm. The tiles were fired at over 1,000 degrees and glazed, which not only looked beautiful, but also optimized heat emission. Even more impressive were the hypercourse heating systems, a legacy from Roman times that was further developed in the Middle Ages.
Okay, cool.
This
So there's our
underfloor
steam.
heating system worked without pumps or pipes. The trick, hot air
Okay,
circulated
and then here is our water supply.
through brick channels.
And then we just need a water supply that's going to come right through here.
Or basement produced hot gases. These flowed through cavities under the floor and rose through channels in the walls. The heat was distributed evenly throughout the room without having to carry wood into each individual room. Monasteries and castles used this technique to heat large halls. But what about cooling? This is where medieval builders showed true ingenuity. The ice cellar was more than just a hole in the ground. These underground chambers were strategically located, usually on north-facing slopes or under thick stone walls. In winter, ice was cut and stored in layers with straw or sawdust. The construction method was crucial. Thick stone walls, often 1 meter thick, insulated against heat from outside. Double doors with airlocks
and
prevented
then
warm air
boop.
from entering. A drainage system drained
so is that a water system going?
damaging the insulation.
Yeah, sweet. New power supplies online. Cool. I like this power system so much better. This is really neat.
Temperatures remain constant
This is really neat.
12 degrees Celsius all year round. Perfect for storing meat, dairy products, and vegetables. These natural
Okay, so I'll just
required no energy and kept
throw this
food
in.
fresh for
Probably not a
weeks.
great
Smoke
setup, but
kitchens cleverly
it gives me
combined
a place to store
the smoke
a
from the
backup.
fireplace was not
Okay.
vented directly outside, but was directed through a system of
Alright, so
channels
now
and
we can
chambers.
shut all this down.
The process transferred its heat to the surrounding rooms. At the same time, the smoke smoked meat and fish that were hung in special chambers. These systems were so efficient that they used a fraction of the fuel consumed by modern heating systems. A tile stove achieved efficiency levels of over 80%, while open fireplaces only managed 20%. Today, these techniques are experiencing a renaissance. Modern tile stoves combine traditional construction with optimized combustion. Earth cooling chambers are being rediscovered as a natural alternative to refrigerators. They are the perfect solution for energy self-sufficient houses. No electricity bills, no maintenance-prone technology, just clever physics and proven craftsmanship.
Dude, that's
When you
awesome.
buy bread today, you don't think about how the grain was ground. But imagine if you had to crush every grain by hand. Medieval millers had a better solution, the windmill. These tower-like giants shaped the European
Okay,
landscape.
so there's just tons and tons and tons. Like 160 watts now just with those two. Really cool.
The ingenious thing about it was that it used a source of energy that was always available and cost nothing. The technology was sophisticated.
Yeah, we should
4 large canvas sails
drop that
all
down,
rolled
but
and
it's cool.
transferred the power via a system of wooden gears to 2 massive millstones. The upper stone, the runner, rotated above the stationary bottom
Yeah,
stone.
let's go and change the
Grain was
mod
poured
to
between these stones and ground into fine flour, but Windmills can do even more. They pump water from flooded areas, press oil from seas.
I want the default to be 40.
Thousands of these mills stood in Holland, making the land habitable in the first
That was a
place.
great number.
Without
I like that one.
much of the Netherlands would still be sea today. The key lay in adaptability. Millers could adjust the sails depending on the wind strength. In storms, the sails were reefed, and in light winds, they were fully extended.
Okay.
The entire mill cap could be rotated to give the sails optimal wind.
Oh, I think the number goes ridiculous, but let's do this.
Even more impressive were the mechanical power amplifiers for oil presses and wine presses. The screw press multiplied human power 100-fold. A simple lever, combined with a threaded spindle, generated enormous pressure. Imagine you want to press walnuts. By hand, you can probably exert 10 kilograms of pressure. With a screw press, you can exert a ton. Crushed nuts were filled into coarse
Crushed
sacks
nuts.
and placed under the press. The spindle
Get it
slowly
released.
turned until the golden oil ran out. Wine pressing worked on the same principle. Grapes were poured into a wooden trough and covered with a heavy board. The screw press pushed the board down and squeezed every drop of juice from the grapes. This juice was purer and clearer than that produced by the traditional method of treading. Meat preservation was essential for survival, especially in
Sweet.
winter.
Okay.
Smokehouses combine
Cool.
heat, smoke, and time to create the perfect preservation method.
What?
These brick chambers had a fireplace in
Pipe
the basement
connection.
and several
Pipe
floors
connection
with
could be
hooks for heating.
optimized directly.
The secret
Connecting
language
regular
was
pipes to heat
beech
pipes
oak
feels
fruit
rather.
trees
Yeah, I
not
know.
only gave the meat flavor,
Might be to
but
restrict
also
connections to
antimicrobial
both ends of the
substances.
heat pipe. Yeah.
Smoke slowly dried the meat and formed a protective layer against bacteria. Meat preserved in this way.
I mean, that's a good idea.
Curing techniques
Yep.
complement
I agree. I don't like that either.
the salt drew water out of the
Current
meat,
setup.
creating inedible but harmful
let's see, dude.
microorganisms. Combined with spices such as juniper or caraway, this created delicacies that are still appreciated today.
Power.
Fermentation is the supreme discipline of preservation. Sauerkraut, pickled cucumbers, and fermented dairy products were created through controlled fermentation. Lactic acid bacteria converted sugar into acid and preserved food naturally. These techniques work just as well today as they did back then. Small windmills can grind grain for a family. Smokehouses can be
Happily push it out.
Fermentation only requires jars and time.
Yeah, current setup, empty space,
These are the
pipe.
basics
Yeah, I
of
know.
self-sufficient food production. Now that we've seen how windmills processed grain, let's take a look at how medieval craftsmen made their tools. Without
A
machines,
better approach might be
without
to restrict
electricity,
connections to
with
both
precision
ends
that puts modern manufacturing to shame.
of the heat pipe.
The potter's wheel was a
Let's see,
marvel
take
of
the
mechanics.
connection
Imagine
as
a
example.
heavy
So
stone
empty
disc
space.
mounted on a vertical axis. A powerful kick with the foot sets it in motion, and the stored momentum.
Oh, I
keeps
see what you're
rotating
saying.
the
Yeah.
wheel.
I think
This
connecting
kinetic energy
regular
allows
pipes
the
to
potter
heat
to
pipes
have
is
both
really
hands free
counterintuitive.
and to shape perfectly symmetrical vessels. The secret lay in the weight and the bearings. The flywheel often weighed over 100
Yeah.
kilograms
Let's
and was
see.
made of dense stone.
I agree. I don't
The
like this.
axle ran
I
in
don't like.
wooden or
I
stone
don't like this
bearings
either.
and lubricated with animal
Let's
fat.
actually ask him.
Once
So.
set in motion, the system rotated so evenly that the potter could form wafer-thin vessels. Firing kilns reached
Or
temperatures
change,
of over 1,000 degrees without any gas or electricity. These dome-shaped structures made of fireproof bricks made perfect use of the chimney effect. Wood was burned in a separate combustion chamber. The hot gases flowed around the pottery and rose through the chimney. Construction was crucial. Thick walls stored heat and released it evenly. Several crews optimally directed the flames around the fired goods. Experienced potters could tell the exact temperature from the colour of the flames, and knew exactly when their ceramics were finished firing. Blacksmith bellows generated the extreme temperatures required for metalworking. These
It's all. Let's
structures
see.
functioned like giant
See, what I was thinking, maybe
machines
we'll
that worked automatically,
update the
while one filtered
graphics
air
to
and one pushed air into
just
the core. The key
allow
feature was the
lava
valve system, a
connection
simple lever
on
valve
the
preventing
east,
the air from flowing back.
west, and
A steady stream of air heated the charcoal to over
Or south
1,500 degrees.
is.
At this
heat
temperature,
pipes.
iron became as soft as butter and could be shaped
Let's see what
perfectly.
they say.
Two journeymen operated the bellows alternately, keeping the fire
Sick,
constantly
bro.
Looms transformed raw fibers into complex fabrics.
You are
These
not needed.
wooden frames stretch the warp threads taut,
Okay,
while the
cool.
weaver passed the weft
Cool,
thread
man.
through
All right,
the
so how many?
different shafts alternate
40
with
megawatts of
different warp
power. That's a
threads,
lot.
creating intricate patterns.
Okay, so now the thing that we have to do is we gotta get sulfur coming out, and
10 times faster than hand spinning.
we gotta get.
Flywheel stored energy,
I bet our
while a clever
ship is in
gear
orbit.
turned the spindle at high speed. Sawmills
P.
combined
Diddy, what
water
up?
power with precise
Happy to
woodwork.
have you.
A water wheel
Okay, so
drove
let's
a
dump all
crankshaft
this so we
via
can get
gears,
some foundries
which
going.
moved a heavy saw blade up and down. The log was slowly pushed against the blade and cut into even boards. This mechanical precision was impossible to achieve with hand saws. Why were these tools easier to maintain than modern machines? The answer lies in their simplicity. No electronics to corrode, no motors with hundreds of moving parts. Just sturdy mechanics made of wood, stone, and iron. A well-built loom worked for centuries. Potter's wheels were passed down from generation to generation. These tools were built to last. Imagine you were on the high seas.
Gosh, dude, I love the idea of building stuff that's meant to last.
Just you and the stars. Medieval sailors
Okay,
mastered
sweet.
this challenge with instruments that would still work
Okay,
today.
so now we can get this going, but we need more. We gotta get the sulfur.
This
pipeline
circular
down
disc
here.
made of bronze or brass could do everything. Determine latitude, time,
Okay,
calculate
so
prayer
let's
times,
do this.
and even make
We need a
astrological
motor,
predictions.
pump.
The genius of it was its precision. Experienced navigators achieved an accuracy of a few kilometers just by observing the
Okay,
stars.
so that's not gonna work if we go
It
right
was
there, but
elegantly
this will
simple
work
to
if we
use.
go right here.
You held the astrolabe vertically
We
and
want
aimed it at a known
goes
star.
there,
The
there.
position of the movable pointer on the engraved scale told you your geographical latitude. Combined with star charts, sailors always knew where they were. This technique worked
Okay,
day
so
and
come
night
up,
in all
come
weathers,
up.
as long as the sky was visible. Arab scholars perfected the astrolabe in the 9th century. It reached
Oh,
Europe
God, are we
via
gonna
Spain
hit
and
that?
revolutionized seafaring. Christopher Columbus navigated to America with an astrolabe. Vasco da Gama circumnavigated Africa with it. These palm-sized instruments made the discovery of new worlds possible. Sundials were the atomic clocks of the Middle Ages.
How
No
stinking lame.
batteries that run out, no mechanics that break down, just a shadow that moves with mathematical precision. Medieval clockmakers engraved complex scales in stone and bronze that showed not
Well,
only the
whatever. I
hour,
can do
but also the seasons,
24,000 a second. So when I run out of that, I'll have to. Hopefully, I've got the ability to
Each
break that shit
sundial
down.
had to be calculated for its specific
Okay,
location.
so we'll just
The
do like
angle of
this.
the
We'll
shadow
save.
stick depended on the latitude. The division of hours varied according to the season. Masterful sundials showed the time to within 5
Okay,
minutes.
so if we have
and
enough
perfect
sulfur.
conditions even more precisely. Portable sundials fit in your pocket.
So if the
Foldable
sulfur
models
gas
made
is
of ivory or
greater
wood
than equal
are status symbols for wealthy
to
merchants.
20k, then we
They
run.
worked anywhere in the world as long
Cool.
as you knew the geographical latitude and the sun was shining. The magnetic compass came to Europe from China in the 12th century and changed everything. A magnetized needle floating on a cork always pointed north.
Okay, sweet.
This simple
So we'll
invention
have
made navigation
these.
possible.
Let's see. So we got two bands here of metal that will go
Medieval compass
out.
makers developed sophisticated cases.
We'll mine all this
The
shit
needle
out.
floated in a
By the
bowl
time we
filled
get done with
oil,
it, we'll
which protected it
on
from
everything.
vibrations. A wind rose with 32 directions enabled precise course determination. Experienced captains even compensated for magnetic declination, the difference between the magnetic and geographic
Okay.
North Pole.
So 1, 2. So we're gonna have these two be the pipelines, and really I think we just do this one. So we say that this is the material
Showed the
moving because
position
we
of
only got
stars at different times of the
like
year.
5, 6 pipes to bring through here. We got like water, sulfur. Is that? Yeah, we can get everything in here, so we'll just bring it through.
Quadrant is a simplified astrolabe. Quarter circle with degree markings and a plumb line attached to it. This allowed sailors to measure the height of stars above the horizon and calculate their position. Easier to build and use than an astrolabe, but almost as accurate. Today, these navigation techniques are experiencing a renaissance. Sailors are relearning astronomical navigation.
Dude, I want to sail to Hawaii with the stars.
With a compass and map. Survival experts build sundials out of sticks and stones. Why is this relevant? Because technology can fail, satellites can be shut down, batteries can run out,
Yeah, I want to
electronic devices can break.
bring it back,
Stars
man.
always shine. The magnetic compass works without electricity. These medieval techniques
Did
ensure
I
life
screw up?
insurance when modern navigation fails. These 12 technologies have one thing in common. They have been working reliably for centuries, without electricity, without complicated maintenance, without expensive spare parts.
Okay, so
While
right
our
here.
smartphones are obsolete after 3 years.
Okay, so this will be our thing, and then we come over here. So right here, we're gonna start.
It is practical wisdom.
Okay, so here we're gonna start doing our first tungsten mining.
They used
Tungsten
local
chips.
materials and natural energy sources. They developed systems that repaired themselves, or were so simple that anyone could understand them.
Oh yeah.
For them, sustainability was not a marketing term,
Let's hook up that.
but a necessity for survival.
Let's see. That's not
Resources
gonna
were
work here.
precious, waste was deadly. That's why they created technologies that worked in harmony with nature rather than against it. Which of these techniques would you like to try? Maybe a small water wheel for a stream, a smokehouse for the garden, or perhaps a sundial for the terrace. Write your ideas in the comments.
I had an idea once.
This is one of the most powerful jet engines in the world. And it actually runs at temperatures 250 degrees Celsius hotter than the melting point of the materials that make it up.
That's 1200 degrees.
So the question is, why doesn't a
Wow, Toyota really took this whole no boring cars thing very seriously. Who hurt them?
Yes, disturbing.
Ariana Grande.
Is someone gonna get her? I mean, that poor girl. I see her on that show, that thing Wicked, which is, they have the second Wicked now that's come out. And her and that other chick, Cynthia Erivo, they're very, odd. But that Ariana Grande, that's who I'm speaking of, right? It is Ariana Grande.
Okay.
She looks very thin, like where I'm worried a little bit about her. And
Get it all.
hopefully
Okay, so we'll just start dumping oil in there.
at Thanksgiving, someone just kind of has to sit down with her and go, honey, you're gonna have to eat some of this food. You know, because it's making people like today. No, I am eating. Yeah, but you gotta, you gotta eat a little bit of this food. I know, but my stomach feels. Hey, eat a little bit of the food. Not just a teaspoon of mashed potatoes. You gotta eat a meal in front of everyone. Because if not, we're calling an ambulance. That's the way Ariana Grande is at, where you go, if you don't eat a meal in front of your family right now, we're gonna call an ambulance.
Yeah, it almost has to
And
be
we're
there.
gonna
How
force
sad.
a pipe down your throat. And we're gonna force feed you. And if you'd rather that, we'll do it right at the table. If you want to put a feeding tube in, because she's at feeding tube. Ariana Grande right now is at feeding tube.
Man,
Where
that's
if a
wild.
feeding tube, and I'm not making light of this, if a feeding tube doesn't go in soon, it's game over. So Ariana Grande needs a feeding tube immediately. And hopefully they do it Thanksgiving, and it might be nice. Everyone's day Thanksgiving, but Ariana's having a little issue. So we're gonna put a tube in her and she can drink it on Thanksgiving.
Cool. There's all that
And so,
stuff.
here's the thing, it doesn't have to be pretty, but it's gotta get in. That's what I tell Ariana. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it's gotta go in.
Famous
If you want us
last
to take
words.
some mashed potatoes, some gravy, or even like baby formula. If you want to start there with like baby formula and we'll put a feeding tube in you and we can start again like you're one, we'll do that. But you're so thin you look like you're gonna break. And people are nervous. So put a feeding tube in and we'll start with like baby formula and nutrients and then we'll work up to like a smoothie made of gravy and mashed potatoes from Thanksgiving.
5 minutes.
I want her to thrive.
Okay. Alright, so that will start
God
getting all
bless
that
her.
stuff
She
off.
needs to eat, not as much as me. I know not as much as me, but at somewhere between where she is right now and where I am is the happy medium. because you're gonna have to put a feeding tube in her. All the way around it. Can you get a photo of Ariana Grande up and write the word thin? Don't make a liar out of me. Find a photo of a beautiful woman, talented woman.
Okay.
Want her to get help. Wicked, whatever. You know, great on Broadway. Is it great in the movies? I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's fine. That's not the point of this. The point of this is a warning, a word to the wise. A warning here.
Why is there no sulfur?
Some nutrients in this woman.
I know the sulfur can go
Isn't
further.
it bad? Can I see it on the thing? I
It's
can't
running.
really see it on the monitor. Is there a way for me to see it?
It says
Yes, I can look at it on my phone. But she's
Pipe is not a
she's
retard.
very, very thin, and it's disturbing a lot of people. And I just
How's
want
that?
it. I want
There
it
we go.
known that the Tim Dillon Show is offering to take Ariana Grande to Smith and Walensky's restaurant, steakhouse, and feed her cream spinach through a feeding tube. And I don't care who looks at us weird. I don't care who looks at us weird. If Ariana Grande wants to come with me at my expense to Smith and Walensky's, I will put a prime rib in a high velocity food processor, and we will blend it and we will put it in the tube, along with the cream spinach and a coconut cake. We'll get it in. All we gotta do here is get it in. Let's get the nutrients in the lady. Go down to some of these. Some of these are terrifying. They're too thin. They're too thin. We want the best for her. She's a really talented woman.
She is really talented.
And everyone has a problem. And everyone does.
Alright, cool, man. Then we can make drills.
Now, I haven't
What's
had
the
this
next thing?
particular problem, but this can easily be fixed with a feeding tube. With the tube in. It's like sleep apnea.
Oh, my
which
energy.
I don't have, but a lot of people have it. And you put that CPAP on, and you go to bed, put the tube in, set it, and forget it.
Set it
Get
and
a
forget
tube
it.
in and get one in now.
Okay, so we're gonna do what we're gonna do.
Fuck up. I eat through a tube. Tell them that. Tell them the eating food I feel revulsion at solid food, so I eat like a baby. And there's nothing wrong with it because I want the best for her.
Yo. Okay.
Young people now are
So
looking
this is
at the
research.
world
Where?
and going, is the
Oh shit! I
country
can
going
only
to
build
exist in
these
20
by
years?
making these. So we need as many
Are
of
we
these as
going
we
to
can
have
do.
and by the way, not because of a foreign threat, not because we're going to be invaded, not because we're going to be nuked, but they're going, is the country going to exist, or are internal forces pulling the country apart?
Man. So.
And are those people, the young people
So
of
we
this
need
study,
steel
the lower happiness reported by the younger
ASAP.
under
We need
30 in the
steel.
United States and Canada is
I
linked
don't have any.
with lower levels of satisfaction and social support, lower satisfaction with living conditions, greater stress and anxiety,
Alright, well,
lower
we got-
trust
we
in
got-
government, and higher
got,
perceptions in corruption. Because people are looking around going, is this country even going to exist? It doesn't seem like it's going to exist. It seems to be way too corrupt to exist in 20 years. So what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, by the way, most
with
happy
you,
places
Tim.
for people who live under 30, number 1, Lithuania, number 2, Israel. Maybe there's something to that ethno-state concept. But so what I'm saying here is that, like, everyone's running around now going, how do we prevent people from being radicalized and becoming schizophrenic? Which I think is a good goal. But I think that part of that really has to look at the entire picture of what's going on right now. Younger people are sitting there wondering, does Brigitte have a car?
I don't like
Will
this.
I afford a house? Is there a job for me? And there isn't. They're not. And she does. Those are the answers to those questions. But they're not. Is the country being run by pedophiles? Yes. Does Brigitte have a cot? Most likely. Am I going to afford a house? Not nearly. Do I have, what kind of job am I going to get? Nothing. Do you know what young people do now? If you're a young person, this is what you do. Graduate school. Let's give you a name. Let's give you a name. Your name, I'm going to give you a male and a woman. Sorry, non-binaries. I'm just going to do a male and a woman right now, okay?
Yeah, keep it simple.
The male's name is Brett. His name is Brett. B-R-E-T-T, Brett. He is a 22-year-old male. And then Carolyn. Carolyn is a 22-year-old female, okay? This is what happens to Carolyn and Brett. Carolyn went to NYU. She's smarty pants. She's smart. Carolyn grew up in Rhode Island, and her parents were together, and she's got a lovely home life, and she has a nice older brother, but he ended up on drugs, and he's just doing the best he can. But Carolyn went to NYU, and she went to the Stern School of Business, and she's gonna take over the world, and she loves all the female founders, and she listens to fucking, motivational speeches from that bitch who founded Bumble, Whitney, fucking whatever, Wolf Herd, and all these other people, and she's a badass finance bitch, and her pet causes are women's literacy in the third world. She wants women in the third world to know more about money, and that's what she does, and her name is Carolyn, and she moves from Rhode Island, and she goes to NYU, and she likes NYU, and she's very liberal, and all of her friends are very rich, and she thinks Trump is gross, and always has, and she's in love with a French guy, but he doesn't really love her, and it's whatever. Carolyn, okay? Carolyn.
She sounds fun.
Okay? Brett grew up in a suburb outside of Chicago, okay?
Yeah.
Brett's father killed himself because he had undiagnosed mental illness. It was very difficult. He shot himself in their garage, and Brett found him, and half of his face was blown off.
God damn, Tim.
And Brett called the police, but he knew it was no use because half of his father's face is in the garage. Brett's mother died of cancer early on. Okay? So Brett was living with his father who killed himself. Now he's 17 years old, so he's right on the ledge. He's gonna be emancipated. He doesn't need a parent. Okay? Now he doesn't get any real money from his father's health with his life insurance. His dad didn't have it. So he didn't have any life insurance, okay? And they were renting. Here's the good news for Brett. Brett writes a great college essay, and it's called I Found My Father's Body in the Garage, and half of his head was gone. And so, the people at the college admissions office, because Brett is an A- student, he's pretty fucking good. Okay? He's on the baseball team. He's not the star, but he's on it. And he writes an essay. I love baseball, and I love playing baseball. It takes my mind off the time I found my father's body in the garage with half of his face gone.
Jesus Christ, Tim.
So Brett
Okay, move on.
goes to Northwestern, pretty good school, and he plays baseball. Okay?
Yeah.
And his father's dead. Okay? Carolyn's at the Stern School of Business. She wants women in Afghanistan to learn about, Bitcoin. Brett's at Northwestern trying to get over the trauma of his father who was sacrificed on the altar of globalization and
move
Reagan,
on.
letting all the
my
mental
God.
hospitals out
Fucking
and,
move
no
on,
healthcare
bro.
and whatever, okay?
Yeah, we got it.
His father was also abusing pharmaceutical drugs and whatever. It just is what it is. He was also a drunk.
Yeah.
So Brett's at Northwestern and
Rough
Carolyn's
situation. Got it.
in NYU. Now Caroline and Brett never should
Jesus
have met.
Christ.
But Brett was traveling to New York City to see a friend he grew up with who was attending Pace, a much less reputable school. In fact, it's a piece of shit. It's a prison, but that's where retards go. And Brett knew a lot of retards growing up in his town. So he goes to visit his buddy, and his buddy goes, sometimes you go to these cool bars with really hot chicks, and they're all super rich.
Yep.
And it's not like they'll ever go out with us, but I fucked a model last month. And Brett's like, we're going
The
They go to this bar. I don't know. I haven't been to bars in years. I don't know what they call it.
Probably
they call
good.
It's called. The bar is just called Jew. J-U.
Yeah, okay.
It's
So
a
they're at you.
Japanese name. Now, Brett is in this bar called Jew, and he meets Carolyn, who is a finance major at the Stern School of Business. She's graduating next year.
Yeah, totally. She's vulnerable.
And he's going to graduate next year, too. Brett,
Makes
of
sense.
course, has majored in education because maybe he'll be a gym teacher because he actually thinks it would be cool if he could help kids who had found their dead father in their garage get over it by connecting them to team sports, which he feels is one of the only reasons he hasn't killed himself.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Caroline is outside, and Brett steps out. Brett's not a smoker and never has been, but everyone's
Good
smoking
man.
and looks cool. So Brett decides to smoke a cigarette, and Carolyn's outside, and they start chatting where you're from, this, that, and the other thing. One thing leads to the next, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They end up going home together and hooking up. This is very rare. Brett's not a Casanova. It doesn't happen all the time. Neither is Carolyn, okay?
Yeah, she's
But
kind of a
they
bitch, but
decide
it
they're
just like
gonna
worked
get
out.
married. They're going to make a go of this, okay?
Yeah, why not? That's awesome.
After
I think
several
they can
months
do
of
it.
dating, long distance, Brett decides he's going to move to New York because
Okay.
Carolyn seems to be on some better financial footing, okay?
Yep.
So he moves to New York, and Carolyn and him start dating. Now, the power dynamic's a little off.
It is
because
weird.
She's got all the money, and she's got all the friends.
Yep.
And the world has kind of pushed her forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. But she's got the fancy degree from school, and Brett feels a little cocked.
Yep.
But he goes with it, because he doesn't really have a family. His father's head was all over the garage.
Yep.
Okay? Carolyn loves Brett. She treats him really nicely. She likes him. He's a nice guy. He's pure, and he's simple. She says that to her friends. Like, he's pure. He's like a good guy, and I just love him. You know, he uprooted his whole life for me. He's this Midwestern guy, and he likes sports and baseball, and his dad blew off his head, and his mother's dead, but he's a good guy. And then one day, Carolyn is having dinner on the Upper West Side, and the French guy that she was in love with 2 years prior passes.
This
And
is
he
how it
notices
happens.
Caroline, and he comes over,
Yep.
and he
He knows how to put the charm
to her
on.
how, oh my God, it's good to see you. And she's like, hi, how are you? Now, this French guy is French aristocracy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got lots of money, an absurd amount of money. In fact, there's not that many people left in France with money. This guy's one of them. Caroline knows that, but it doesn't matter. It's filed away in the back of her head. He also has movie star good looks. But Carolyn's in a relationship with Brett, a regular Midwestern guy who watched his dad. We didn't watch it.
Hey,
but
come on,
the
come
body
on.
was still warm when he walked into the garage. You know what I mean?
You're
Pretty sick of his dad to do that.
beating your head.
Close to school. But Carolyn sees this French guy, Jacques. And she chats with Jacques. And you know what? She's
What's up, dog man?
walk to get her Uber. And she decides
Okay,
that
so-
she'll, and he goes, boom, and he'll just walk with you. And she goes, okay. And they chat. She doesn't mention that she's seeing anyone, but it doesn't come up. It doesn't come up. Why would it come up?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay? And he said, I'd love to see you again. We should go to this opening gallery. My friend in Soho, my cokehead friend who has no talent, has rented a gallery in Soho, and she's inflicting her mediocre art on people. Let's all go down there and see what that's about. And she, living downtown, sees no reason not to attend a very public art gallery show in Soho.
Bad
with an
idea.
Old friend.
Bad idea.
It's not a big deal. She's not cheating on this Midwestern guy who's so pure
Not yet.
and simple. His father killed himself in their garage.
Hey, come on, Tim.
So Carolyn from the
Next.
Stern School of Business, who cares that women get Bitcoin so they can transcend the circumstances of living in an Afghan cave, decides to go to the opening of a mediocre artist in Soho with Jacques,
Okay.
a very wealthy French guy. All the while, her simple, pure, Midwestern, beautiful boy, beautiful, life that they have together. She calls him a boy. He doesn't love that, but she does, and she realizes it's just because he doesn't have a lot of money and he doesn't come from anything, okay? She decides to go to this gallery opening with Jacques. Well, the gallery opening becomes a lunch, and the lunch becomes a coffee. And then she eventually has to tell Jacques, listen, I'm actually in a relationship. I don't know what the hell's going on here, okay? But Jacques says, listen, I totally understand, but here's the reality. You're graduating school next year. I've always loved you. I never thought you loved me.
Okay.
We're meant to be together. We're meant to get married at my family's vineyard
Bam,
in the
dude.
south of France.
All right.
You know
This
it, and
is
I know it.
sick.
So what are we doing here? And she walks home and she's crying, and it's cold and it's wet and it's raining, but she knows that Jacques is right. She knows that she's going to go and marry this rich guy, and she's going to destroy this man, this Midwestern guy who's a good guy. And she goes home and they have a talk, and she says, listen, Brett, go away. Listen, Brett, you know I love you, and these 2 years have been the best years of my life.
But
I just feel like there's too many things here that will just never work. I think we want different lives, you know? You mentioned that you love the Midwest and that you'd like to go back one day, and I could never see myself living there. He goes, yeah, but that's just something I say. I mean, I uprooted my whole life for you. I kind of like New York. I actually love the pizza. I thought I'd never like anything better than the tavern-style Chicago pizza, but I actually love the pizza here. She goes, here's the thing. This isn't about pizza, Brett. It's not about food. It's about the fact that I met a guy, and I'm in love with him, and I'm sorry. Now Brett is hollowed out. He's hollowed out. He's vacant. There's nothing. He's angry, and then the anger translates into a hopelessness. It's a stage 4 diagnosis. It's
oh my goodness. Okay, there we go.
He knows immediately, as soon as those words leave her mouth, that there is nothing to be said and nothing to do.
Yeah.
He can't compete with this
fucked,
guy,
dude.
this fairy tale French rich guy, and she's been in love with forever because he's going to provide her a type of life that Brett can't. So he then gets a small apartment in Manhattan.
Do not fucking make Brett blow his head off,
He started
dude.
out in a small apartment, then he's living with her in a little bigger apartment in a better location, but he moves to Brooklyn. Okay? He moves to Brooklyn. He says, fuck it, I'm going to start moving to Brooklyn. I'm going to live in Brooklyn now because who cares? I just want to get laid. I want to do drugs. And I want to just be angry. 'Cause my fucking girl threw me. Carolyn keeps going.
Okay.
And that's where her part of the story ends. We don't know what happens to Carolyn. She gets engaged to this French guy. She gets really wealthy. She gets really rich. They split their time between France and the United States. She has a fake job, and so does he. But Brett's now living in Brooklyn. And Brett oscillates from the far left to the far right. One day he's a literal neo-Nazi. The next day he's a far left anarcho-communist.
Okay.
And all the while he
Alright.
listens to
Alright,
the
so now we got a lot of
every day.
steel, which is
Every day he has
awesome.
no idea which way I'm gonna go. He has
So
no
do we,
idea.
what are
He
base
just knows I'm
materials do
angry
we need
at things,
here?
and he likes that.
Oh,
He
yeah.
listens to my show. But one day he's an Antifa, and the next day he's a Proud Boy. He's just angry. He's full of hatred. He's full of hatred because the rent keeps going up and nothing makes sense. I don't know what this has to do with anything really.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where are you going with this, Tim?
I thought it would say more about the economy than it actually did.
Okay.
But my point is this. We've empowered certain women at the expense of men that have found their fathers dead in their thing. I mean, it's true.
Let's do this.
So that's what I'm getting to.
Let's just say
so this
that
guy's
this-
now a radical because we made this woman fall in love with French people, which is disgusting.
That's your whole thing? That's fine. Okay, so let that
That's
grab
what
all that
happens.
shit.
And Brett dies of an accidental overdose in Bushwick. And his body is found by his Chinese landlord. You see, I made the landlord Chinese. I could have went another way, but he was a Chinese landlord.
Okay.
And they found Brett's body. And they couldn't call his dad. His dad's already dead. Sad.
Pretty dark, Tim.
This is what's happening
Pretty
to young
fucking
people
dark, man.
all over the country. Well, it is.
Pretty dark, Tim.
That's a hot one. I get it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions.
And hotter guests.
We weren't quite sure what it was going. MP4-12C. We're just CDs down the road. Okay, let's quickly talk about the LFA concept.
I was just gonna say, that's what it looks like to me. Worse than Epstein. What? Like, dude, I don't know how that guy gets on these things. Yeah. You know, Asmon. Should we do Asmon? Just do. What's up, dude? What is new?